Introduction. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. The presentation is prepared by Pushpesh Naik and delivered by Jackie. In this presentation, we are thrilled to share insights into book, Stress, Your Catalyst for Success. Learn a few techniques to manage your stress and energy. About the author. This multi-sourced article was created by Pushpesh based on the main ideas from Bored or Overloaded. This is the amount of stress you need to get things done by Dina Smith on Fast Company. Combating the Microstress That Causes Burnout by Rob Cross and Karen Dillon on the WSJ. Worry Time, The Benefits of Scheduling Time to Stress by Sanjana Gupta on verywellmind. These stress relief strategies could be doing more harm than good by Stephanie Vozza on Fast Company. Need a quick stress reliever? Try one of these surprising science-based strategies by Jelena Kecmanovic on WP. What's in it for you? Problem and promise. How long has it been since you updated your toolkit for stress management? There's more to it than the classic advice of taking breaks and breathing. Don't get us wrong, those techniques can be effective at reducing stress, but maybe you're feeling ready to freshen up your approach to stress management and learn targeted techniques for dealing with different varieties of stress. Stress is complex, yet reading the literature on stress management, you might come away with the belief that all forms of stress can be easily treated through simple meditation, exercise, and deep breathing. The truth is, if you want to master stress management, you need to learn more about how stress operates, and you need a well-honed repertoire of strategies for combating it. Fine-tune your understanding of stress through learning to identify microstress and understanding where you fall on the spectrum proposed by the Yerkes-Dodson law. Then acquire some targeted strategies for troubleshooting stress, like energy management and worry scheduling. Think energy management, not stress management. Think energy management, not stress management. If you're feeling chronically stressed, tired, and burnout, then many common self-care strategies, like doing deep breathing exercises or eschewing screen time before bed, won't help you long-term. Erin N. Reeves, author of In Charge, The Energy Management Guide for Badass Women Who Are Tired of Being Tired, likens the experience of chronic stress to being in a leaky canoe on a lake and attempting to scoop out water with a bucket. In other words, these Band-Aid self-care strategies start in the middle, assuming you'll continue your current unsustainable path while managing the symptoms, not the source, of your stress. When your canoe is sinking, don't waste time bailing water. Fix the leaks. Productive self-care starts with energy management, focusing on what invigorates you. Take stock of your energy stores. On a scale of 0 to 10, what people or activities leave you at 0, completely depleted? What brings you to a 10 when you're feeling completely replenished and inspired? This evaluation evolves over time, aligning with life stages and responsibilities. But the basic idea is this: you might not be able to eliminate energy-depleting activities from your life, but you can take charge of how they are dispersed. For instance, beginning the day with energy-boosting tasks accumulates positivity, unlike starting with energy-draining ones. Conversely, a sequence of energy-depleting activities exhausts you regardless of time management. Counterbalance draining tasks with positive ones, seizing control over your energy equilibrium. Energy management enables you to end the day with surplus energy instead of depletion. This approach transforms self-care from a checklist item to a dynamic way of reclaiming control over your well-being. Turn the Yerkes-Dodson law to your advantage. Turn the Yerkes-Dodson law to your advantage. To understand the impact of stress on your performance, you need to understand the Yerkes-Dodson law. And the best way to understand the Yerkes-Dodson law is to visualize an inverted bell curve. The curve charts the relationship between mental and physiological arousal and performance. When we are either insufficiently or excessively aroused, in other words, when we are either bored stiff or highly anxious, our performance flatlines. The curve peaks when we hit the sweet spot between boredom and anxiety. In other words, finding the right level of mental and physiological arousal enables optimal achievement. Why is it so difficult to reach that just right state of arousal? Well, the brain's prefrontal cortex, which is our mental hub for advanced thinking, is remarkably sensitive. To function optimally, the cortex requires precise neurochemical equilibrium, neither excessive nor lacking. No wonder Amy Arnsten of Yale University terms the prefrontal cortex the Goldilocks of the brain. In moments of fatigue or boredom, low levels of dopamine and norepinephrine are released. In contrast, extreme stress prompts a high-level surge of these same neurotransmitters. Either way, the effect on your fussy prefrontal cortex is the same: heightened distraction, disorganization, forgetfulness, and inhibition. In essence, excessive or insufficient stress leads to ineffectiveness, but a little bit of stress is a good thing. Consider pre-presentation anxiety. A bit of stress can prompt you to give a dynamic delivery, but excess stress impedes your concentration and recall. It's impossible to stay at the top of the Yerkes-Dodson curve all the time. Your best strategy is to learn to make the most of that sweet spot when you do hit it. Energy management comes into play here too. Align your work with the ebbs and flows of your energy. Identify your personal energy patterns, tackling vital tasks during peaks and reserving mundane ones for energy dips. Don't sleep on microstress. Don't sleep on microstress. Have you ever felt inexplicably drained? Microstress might be the culprit. Microstresses are quiet, recurring moments of tension that stealthily accumulate, sapping our energy without us even noticing. Unlike standout stressors, microstress lurks within daily life. Think unspoken tensions in work meetings, shifting expectations from your boss, and fleeting family concerns. These minuscule stressors evade our awareness but leave lasting impacts. For example, when you start your morning with a brief disagreement with your partner, you might find your focus and mood subtly affected throughout your workday. Conventional stressors, like divorce, illness, financial worries, produce heightened levels of adrenaline in the body, which trigger our inbuilt fight or flight response. This in turn creates a strong physical reaction: racing heartbeats, sweat, and uneven breathing. It's easy to identify when we're affected by conventional stressors. Microstress, on the other hand, can slip by unremarked, slowly accumulating over time. Joel Salinas, a behavioral neurologist, likens microstress to wind eroding mountains over time. Just as the erosion subtly reshapes landscapes, these tiny stresses build up to the point where they can harm your health. Research indicates microstress can elevate blood pressure, heart rate, and trigger hormonal changes. It can even alter the workings of your metabolism, potentially adding 11 pounds per year. It's vital that you learn to identify and address instances of microstress instead of sweeping them under the rug. But what should you do next? A recent study revealed that most of us are negatively impacted by microstresses we don't even notice. But it also uncovered the 10%ers, a special group amounting to roughly 10% of the study's respondents who seemed immune to microstress. What sets these 10%ers apart? They seem to have a radar for microstress and skillfully exit interactions involving microstress. They do this either by addressing conflicts head-on and resolving them in the moment, or limiting contact with people and situations that cause repeated microstress. Why is this approach so effective? Well, social scientists theorize that negative interactions affect us at 5 times the impact as positive interactions do. In other words, you need 5 positive experiences to counterbalance the effect of 1 negative experience. By avoiding microstress, the 10%ers actively eliminate sources of negativity. Also, the 10%ers intuitively grasp the importance of nurturing diverse social connections. Rather than relying solely on close ties that sometimes breed tension, they diversify relationships through their hobbies, volunteering, and community engagement. Why schedule worrying? Why schedule worrying? Stress management techniques often focus on avoiding or eliminating worry. Here's one that does the opposite. It's called worry scheduling, and it involves setting aside a specific period in your day exclusively for worrying. The logic behind this counterintuitive idea is pretty simple. When you condense your worry into this dedicated time, you can leave the rest of your day free for more positive experiences. This technique curbs excessive worrying by putting a hard boundary around the time you spend with your negative thoughts. Clinical psychologist Sabrina Romanoff provides a roadmap for mastering the worry scheduling technique. First, allocate time. Designate 15 to 30 minutes for worry time, using a timer to keep track. Select an early evening slot like 6 p.m. to collect and compartmentalize worries, leaving time for relaxation before bed. Next, consistency counts. Choose a regular spot and time for worry sessions. Opt for an uncomfortable location like a hard chair so you're not tempted to stay longer. Next, tackle worries. Postpone worries during the day, jotting them down for review later. During the dedicated time, assess each concern. For solvable issues, outline solutions. For uncontrollable matters, practice acceptance or release through symbolic acts. Finally, plan transitions. Arrange a follow-up activity to conclude worry time and shift focus, such as cooking, connecting with friends, watching TV, reading, or exercising. That's it. And the best part, you just freed up 23 1/2 worry-free hours of your day. For quick relief, try science-based hacks. When we're feeling stressed, we often look for ways to lower the tension. Hello, long baths and Netflix marathons. But for a quick fix, try heightening your senses instead. Research shows periodic diversion through intense sensory inputs like chewing on a hot pepper or tricky mental exercises like saying the alphabet backwards actually offer respite from acute stress. Also, you could try using something called opposite action to manage your emotions. The mind-body connection is powerful, and our emotions connect to specific postures and expressions. So, try reverse engineering that connection. When you're stressed and angry, deliberately shift to a non-aggressive posture, replace your frown with a smile, and speak softly. Your facial expression will actually communicate with your brain, granting you rapid relief from intense emotions. Final summary. Let's summarize the presentation and discuss key takeaways. If conventional stress management techniques just aren't working for you, using more targeted strategies might prove helpful. Instead of managing the symptoms of stress through self-care, assess your energy levels to determine the root cause of your stress. Find your equilibrium along the Yerkes-Dodson curve and adjust your levels of stress and stimulation to reach peak performance. Adopt the mindset of a 10%er, one of the elite group of people that can sniff out and shut down microstress. Embrace your anxieties for 30 minutes a day with worry scheduling, and in a pinch, quick hacks like heightening your sensory input or engaging opposite action can provide an effective reset. Conclusion. Recommendations. If you're interested in learning more about the topics we discussed in this presentation, we've got some recommendations for you. First, we've got The Power of Full Engagement by Jim Lauer and Tony Schwartz. This presentation goes into detail on how to nurture the energy sources that are the basis of good stress management. Our next recommendation is How to Have a Good Day by Caroline Webb. This presentation has great examples of how working with the Yerkes-Dodson law can help you to maximize your energy management. The last recommendation we want to share with you is Widen the Window by Elizabeth A. Stanley. Based on the author's experience of being a military veteran and mind fitness trainer, this presentation gives strategies for dealing with stresses large and small. Okay, that's it for this presentation. If you liked it, please leave a rating and review. We'd love to hear from you. This is a new way of doing things, so your feedback will really help shape what presentation articles look like in the future. All right, until next time. If you think it's a valuable life lesson, then please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to our channel.